What's going on, guys? So today I want to talk about some Facebook breakdowns, how you can look inside your dashboard to really kind of break down your data even further. It's not very used, but it's a nice way to, kind of get a deep dive into different placements, into different demos, into different feeds, everything. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump right into it and make myself teeny tiny over here. So the first one you could do is by placements. So first off, like in the Facebook dashboard here, you're going to click on the breakdown. I remove it all together, it just says breakdown. So the breakdown, I like to go then scroll down to delivery and just go with platform. Placement will show you all the placements, and I'll show you that here in a second. But what's kind of nice is being able to look here, right? So you got the audience network, Facebook, and Instagram. So like this is an e-commerce store, so I can break this down and see that, okay, in the last 30 days, 21 purchases came from Facebook, 10 came from Instagram. I can see the cost per checkouts, cost per purchases. In this case, on Advantage Plus shopping or Advantage Plus campaign with just regular ads in it, this ad group, it did better on Facebook. But I still think at this point Advantage Plus is broken. Outside of actual shopping, running normal ads to it, it's just not doing that well. Same thing down here, you can look at it and go, okay, 5 purchases came from Facebook, 15 came from Instagram. Instagram had a lower cost per purchase, better ROAS, and a better conversion rate. So conversion rate is a custom column that I created in here. And you literally, it's purchases divided by link clicks. And then you can say times 100, but I can basically do the math, and 0.08 times 100 is 8%. So it had a better conversion rate as well. Same thing here. Facebook got 1 and Instagram is the other. So in this case, I could look at it and go, maybe we just want to remove Facebook as a placement, and because this is a supplement brand, and only run it to Instagram. It seems to be getting the better returns for the most part outside of this Advantage Plus shopping one. But everything else is, pointing towards Instagram. Even here, the conversion rates are they're literally the same, 9%. So I could remove Facebook from here and say, screw it, let's just go all IG and let it put the rest of that budget in here. If you really want to, you can break it down even further, go back to delivery and go placement. This is going to show you the actual placements inside of the audience network, like where on Facebook did that sale come from. So here you see this, 2 sales came from the Reels, 3 came from Facebook Stories, 14 came from feed, 1 came from Instagram and video, 1 came from video feeds, 3 came from feed. I mean, you'll be able to see mobile, desktop, all that, right? Same thing down here. I can say, okay, well, before, like I said, we had 5 purchases on the Facebook feed. So I can basically assume that, well, not assume, but those 5 purchases from Facebook came from the Facebook feed. The others that came from Instagram, 4 came from the mobile feed, 2 came from Reels, 9 came from Stories. So that's really good, right? And that's also a top of funnel campaign. Down here again, and you can see all the different metrics too, like the cost per purchases. So if you really wanted to try to get granular, you could do that. So like, here's a really cool one too. So this ad set had 6 purchases on Instagram mobile feed with a 2.45 times return and an 11% conversion rate. So that might be something that, again, we just go, screw it, between an 11% and a 7% conversion rate, and they're getting sales, like, let's just go ahead and push it to Instagram, because we're also seeing on the exact feeds. So if you had something that was predominantly crushing it on Reels or Stories, you could just remove all the other placements and then test it out, see how that goes. You might run into the fact that it's going to cost more money or it doesn't do that well. Who knows? But you basically won't know without testing first, right? Conversely, you can get into demographics. So let me remove placement. We can go to demo. We can check age and gender, audience segments. So we can go, okay, if we want to drill down into the actual age, we can see that the majority of the purchases just in this top one came from 25 to 44 year olds. Of the 31, there are 22 of them that came from 25 to 44. So if we're going to use kind of like the Pareto rule where, we're 80-20, focus on the 80%, or 80% of our focus goes to, or something like that. It's basically the Pareto thing where, like, okay, we're going to hone in here. This is where the bulk of it all, these guys are hanging out. They have, some of the best conversion rates, perfect. Same thing. So over on these ones, we know a lot came from Instagram. Still 25 to 44, over half. Then on the remarketing campaign, we had, well, really the bulk came from 25 to 34, about 50-50. So it's kind of a little more spread out here. There's a smaller data set to work with. But we can go down to this ad set and see that 25 to 54 carried the majority of the weight. So maybe we only run ads to 25 to 54-year-olds and get rid of the 18 to 24 and over 55 because they're not going to buy this product. Then you can go to gender. You're going to get male, female, and uncategorized. That's just the world we live in. But, you know, again, I'm going to see that predominantly male, predominantly male, predominantly male, which doesn't surprise me because this is a, you know, heavy male branded brand. Again, predominantly male. So we could just exclude female, you know, women altogether if we really wanted to. This is just data for you to collect, to potentially optimize, to potentially test, see where maybe like the nice low-hanging fruit or things that, you know, you can optimize for are hanging out. That would be, you know, why I'd be using this, and really seeing like who's reacting to what ads as well, because you can go into the ads level and see that, like, you know, even here, this video that features a female as 15 purchases are male versus 5 female. Again, predominantly male, predominantly male, predominantly male. So you're gonna be able to see what people react to, see all the different metrics, the you know, conversion rates, all that stuff. So this can also help with your analytics when it comes to, you know, your creative testing, your audience testing, if you're still doing that kind of stuff. And then the other one you can do, gotta clear this out. So then you can go by time, you know, day, week, 2 weeks, month, kind of see the time of day that things are happening. So if you really wanted to, you could day part it out. I don't really recommend that on the Facebook end, especially if you're e-commerce. If you're service based, okay, I get it. If you're, you know, only open during certain hours, you can day part it, but you have to use a lifetime budget. But again, you collect the same amount of data. So if one of these time frames really stood out, which looking at it right here, none of them really do, you know, you could say, hey, like the majority of our purchases are coming on, you know, a Thursday at this time, you know. So here we got like days, right? What days are really standing out? And none of them are really standing out. Go by time. So then you can see by weeks, by month, by all that stuff, right? If you're advertising in multiple different countries, you inside of the same ad set or same campaign, you can see the different countries, different regions, DMA regions. And then, of course, by dynamic creative element, this is where if you're running a DCT ad set and you're testing a bunch of images or videos against each other in different creatives, you can see which ones are getting what. Like you can see the results, you know, based on those. So I'll show you kind of another ad account here. That's going to be lead gen based, right? So like this is a wedding company. And let's change that. So again, you know, I can go over here to delivery and go to placement, and I want to see where are the majority of the leads coming from. Look at that. Facebook feed, 15 out of 17 came from Facebook feed, 2 came from Instagram Reels, 3 came from Reels, 6 came from feeds, 46 came from Facebook feed. So like there's predominant Facebook, you know, over on this for this ad account. So if I wanted to, I could again test out running just Facebook and removing Instagram. Let's go to demo. Let's look at age. You know, so this is a wedding photographer, so we should be in that 18 to 44 range, which is what we're targeting anyways. And yeah, I mean, a lot of them, 25 to 34 is crushing it in this one. This one, 25 to 34 as well. It's the only one getting any love, any action. So it, again, we could optimize for just that age, but you know, we have a wide range of people that are potentially getting married, so why limit it? And then it's always fun because you would be surprised sometimes what you will see gender wise. But again, I'm not shocked here. Predominantly female, very few male. You know, it's just the way it is. And then obviously we're probably, you know, optimizing for females on this one, but just another way to kind of look at things and analyze your data to see if do you want to test out a different platform. So this is a nice way to dig into your details, see if there's any kind of tweaks, optimizations you can do. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them down below.